Good time zones, my Sakonauts. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as the Witch of Tylwyth Teg, and today is day 3 of our 3-day workshop on how to work with spirits. Welcome to Working with Deities. This is day 3 of 3, so if you haven't seen days 1 and 2, I will link them in the cards. You have today to watch the series, as they will only be available today. They'll be taken down on Monday. So today we will discuss the acquiring of what I call a Vatron, the Dark Mother, the Horned God, and goddesses of desire and luck. I'll even get into pantheons a little bit too, so let's get cracking. I am Sako Tumi. Oh wait, I gotta do a thing. Butcha! I am Sako Tumi. I was Wiccan for a decade. I have since, I want to say recovered, but let's say converted, and have been a chaos witch for the past 6 years. I am 3rd generation Buddhist, and much of that practice is woven into my witchcraft. Oh my gosh, come on. So this is part of a 3-day workshop. On Friday, we worked with local spirits, which also are known as thought forms. On yesterday, which was Saturday, we worked with external spirits, i.e. non-local spirits. And today, day 3, we are working with deities. This one is kind of, there's a lot of heavy lifting. So we are going to get into invoking Vatrons. Then I'll break down archetypes of gods and goddesses. And then we'll have like a little bit of a tidbit about pantheons there at the end. So let's get into Vatrons. Yeah, let's get into Vatrons. Yeah. A chaos witch group I am in came up with the word Vatron when we found that patron was just a little bit too masculine. Vatron includes all genders, even the absence of one. Finding one is as easy as reading their resume. Figure out your intention, and then find a Vatron that works within those parameters. Day 1, I mentioned Thoth for writers. Aries would work for soldiers who need to steel themselves for battle. Hecate for spellcraft, Venus for self-love, the list goes on. Tarot and meditation can help you find a Vatron that will fit your intention. I'll give you some general archetypes that I've found that cross continents and eras. The Dark Mother, the Horned God, and goddesses of luck and desire. Let's start with the Dark Mother. The 3-faced goddess of the new moon. She can grant you enhanced psychic powers, fertility, romance, protection, freedom from illness, and magic restitution for any crime committed against you. She is stern and swift. Day turns to night and life turns to death, and the Dark Mother teaches us to dance. Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Nemesis, Morrigan, Tiamat, bringers of destruction who embody the crone. We honor you as the earth goes dark and the world slowly dies. Lilith was the mate that God made for Adam. She was not made from Adam, but was an entity all herself. Adam was more interested in every other animal in the kingdom, and when Lilith complained, she was banished to Nod. There are many myths about Lilith in the Old Testament. These days, she signifies feminine independence and punishing wrongdoers. Kali, the Hindu goddess of war and destruction. You can invoke her for transformative strength, purification of inner body, discovering the truth in a confusing situation, letting go of the ego, seeing the mysteries of life and death, transcendent ecstasy in meditation and lovemaking. I've worked intimately with Kali in the past. Hecate, the triune goddess of witches. At the crossroads during the new moon, offer her garlic, lavender, and honey. Bring a dog if you can. The horned god. Let's talk about Pan, a satyr god of music and sex, be it fertility or for the sheer fun of it. Friends with Bacchus, the god of parties, he would basically bone anything with two legs. Also music, you know. Carnoon and Baphomet. Carnoon was the horned god. Think of Pan, but also god of the wild and god of the hunt. He bears the torque of a chieftain, and he holds in one hand the ram-headed serpent. In the Gardnerian pantheon, he is the goddess's male counterpart. He's described as a virile, bearded male with great antlers and the legs of a goat. When Christianity attempted to squash paganism, they demonized Carnoon, creating the vision of Satan. Baphomet was a Templar evolution, a symbol of duality and equilibrium. Day and night, male and female, animal and human, good and evil, and so on. The church had a fit and accused them of over 100 blasphemous activities like spitting and pissing on the cross, sodomy, and heresy. Baphomet was mentioned during the Templar confessions. Lastly, the All-Father, Odin One-Eye, was considered the Norse and Germanic king of gods. A god of sacrifice, favored people and dogs were sacrificed by hanging on Wednesday or Woden's Day. He was a warrior, a father, a husband, and a creator of many a thing, to include letters. It is said in Scandinavia to leave noms in the fields for Odin's six-legged horse Sleipnir. Lastly, the goddesses of luck and desire. Those that are not mothers. Inanna is a Mesopotamian goddess associated with love, beauty, desire, war, justice, and political power. The Umerians worshipped her as the goddess of both sex and warfare. Battle is described as the dance of Inanna. While she is a goddess of sex, she is not a mother and thus not a goddess of fertility. While most gods were finite, she moved from conquest to conquest, always seeking more power than she was allotted. Sekhmet is the Egyptian version of Inanna, the goddess of the sun, fire, plagues, healing, and war. She is the Eye of Ra. Her main MO is war and destruction, lady of life and terror. She is the lioness of Upper Egypt, while her sister Bast was the lioness of Lower Egypt. Benzaiten, also known as Benten. Her places of worship are often near water. One of Japan's 7 lucky gods, she is a muse for artists. She shares Demeter's mantle of goddess of the harvest, and she primarily lords over prosperity. Much like Hindu Saraswati, she has 8 arms, an object in her fancy in each hand, to include a jewel, a lute, and a sword. Snakes are her messengers and considered lucky in Shinto. Pantheons. A couple of things worth mentioning. As you noticed, I hopped around a lot of pantheons today. I personally followed the Egyptian pantheon for the entirety of my Wiccan career. With my conversion to chaos magic, I decided to work with pantheons that are in my genetic makeup, like Japanese and Germanic deities. Hindu gods are an exception as long as I pay homage with a combination of flowers, dance, music, fire, light, and smoke. They are more than happy to work with me. Look into your genealogy and see what pantheons you might have a knack for. For those that get into Scandinavian pantheon, please be aware that the Thor's hammer has become a symbol of hate to marginalized groups. Thanks, Trump. If you are interested in learning more outside of class with videos that you can access at any time, I recommend subscribing to my Patreon, where you can join the Coven of Tylwyth Teg. Higher tiers get all kinds of other goodies. The link is in the description below. This sums up today's class and the 3-day workshop as a whole. If you have questions on any of the classes that went on this weekend, I'd like you to comment on this video or message me directly, and we can discuss any of these topics further. If you liked this video at any point, please hit the like button. And if you'd like to attend free coffee hours or see future classes like this one, please subscribe and maybe even ring that bell on the off chance that it might notify you. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.